The word akasha comes from Sanskrit and means primary substance from which all things are formed. Akashic records hold a vibrational record of each soul's journey. It has information of what each soul thinks, feels, and does over lifetimes. It tells you the what, why and how of any situation. The Akashic records have been mentioned in many spiritual backgrounds. In the Christian culture it is referred to as the Book of Life. The Egyptians mention the records when working with their kings. The most well-known reader of the Akashic records was Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce was known as the Sleeping Prophet. Thousands of his readings were documented while he slept and channeled the records. Edgar Cayce was an American Christian mystic who answered questions on subjects as varied as healing, reincarnation, wars, Atlantis, and future events while in a trance. A biographer gave him the nickname, the Sleeping Prophet. A non-profit organization, the Association for Research and Enlightenment was founded to facilitate the study of Cayce's work. A hospital and a university were also established. Half-human beasts that were on Earth before 9,000 BC. Because they were not really human and usually had low animal-like intelligence, these beings were called the Things, and they eventually would have become the basis for the legendary creatures of Greco-Roman mythology, like the satyr, mermaid, and the like, birdman, centaur, cyclops, minotaur. Many of them were being used as work slaves to do the work that didn't require much intelligence, like in agriculture. At a later time, this caused a great ethic problem between those of the factions of the sons of Belial, who wanted to keep exploiting them, and those of the Law of One, who proposed more rights, freedom, and room for spiritual development for those beings. According to Edgar Cayce, the animal influences, such as wings, tails, feathers, and hooves would have been fully disappeared from the body in the year 9000 BC, with the exception of some who were accurately depicted in Assyrian and Egyptian art. There also exist ancient myths and depictions of bird-like men from Easter Island, Mesoamerica, and Japan. Overcoming the monstrosities, the mixtures, and the animal influences was accomplished through rebirth, surgery and evolution towards a more divine purpose. The animal influences finally disappeared about 9000 BC. Remnants of these creatures, with their appendages of wings, tails, feathers, claws and hooves were later depicted accurately in Assyrian and Egyptian art. The Sphinx is a notable example of one of the earlier monstrosities. There are legends concerning a creature known as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Over the years, attempts have been made to document its existence in North America. Does such a creature exist, and if so, what is it? We would find this as a remnant of those ancient times in which there was a combination of humanoid and animalistic, root-strength beings combined. This particular hairy being, man-like, exists and roams the planet, with a high degree of intelligence. It is not a caveman reincarnated, but is an animal in a sense that gorillas and larger, similar species would possess. However, this one is more like man because of its genetic bearing. It is live in small groups and lives in different parts of the world. It is a remnant of those ancient times of the Atlanteans, who possessed such beasts of burden. We would find that much evidence has been gained from the same. The bodies upon death are dismembered and disposed of in such a way that there is no trace, because it was the original process of disposing of all dead things. Now in that of the environment in which they exist, it is hostile and they are part of the food chain. However, to the question, it appears that they are in various aspects of the world, closely aligned species, able to travel great distances because of their large size. They do not stay in a designated area, but tend to roam large distances, usually as a nocturnal being itself. They originated as a part of the things that were to be utilized to carry out chores. They would emanate from that part of the world that would be known as Atlantis when the continent broke into the 5 islands. They seem to have dispersed to the 4 corners of the world themselves as they were taken northeast to Europe, east and southeast to what would be India, the Pyrenees and Africa, into Egypt you see. And also that would be to South America, that of Chile, and we would find also here to the Americas which there would be the regions of Georgia and North Carolina, and they migrated inwardly. As there was the fluctuation further of the world, then they would have moved further north, in Europe to the mountain ranges themselves. They live somewhat in environments that would suit bears' wooded marshy areas, but go to the high ground in cold weather. What is the lifespan of these creatures? It would appear to be somewhere between 125 and 140 years, about 10 times the age at which they enter reproductive capability.